Speaking about emotions is important and something that we all need to think about before we really start working on developing emotional regulation in our children. We can do that from a young age, but we need to understand how and why we can support our children in understanding emotions too. My name is Nanette. I studied to be a teacher years ago. I've been in the field of special needs and particularly autism since 2009. I'm also a mother to 3 young children myself. So in this mini course, we're going to tackle understanding emotions, and we're going to be looking at the following different topics in this module. From happy to sad or mad, perhaps, in no time, those instances where our kids just seem to go from happy, doing what they love to do, and then all of a sudden things go pear-shaped and we sit with a child who's really sad or mad or not understanding what's going on. Perhaps how can we help them through that? How can we start teaching them about emotional regulation? Because understanding emotions is really part of emotional regulation, which is so important for every single child out there, and of course not only children but teenagers and right through to adulthood. Then the second one, selecting coping strategies. For every child, we don't all, for us as adults, we don't all have the same ways, the same strategies to cope in different situations, and the same for our kids. We need to help them figure out what works, what helps them to calm down, what excites them when they're feeling a bit tired, what type of activities they can do, the type of input that they need to help them stay emotionally regulated. So we'll look at selecting coping strategies for your child and how you can figure that out in a practical way, of course, as with everything we do. Then the third one, staying content and regulated. It seems like sometimes it seems impossible, but we can teach our children these strategies that's going to help them be content and regulated more often throughout the day. That is something that we can teach all our children. We just need to know how to teach that. And that's what we want to share with you. Anxiety, that's such a big thing, even with young children today. And our fourth topic in this mini course is anxious about anxiety, when perhaps even we feel anxious about our children's anxiety, or we are seeing a lot of anxiety in our kids. The tricky thing really here is anxiety doesn't look the same in all children, and we need to learn, us as parents and teachers, we need to learn what to look out for. How can we know if it is anxiety that our child is experiencing? And if it is, how can we support them? It's no use only knowing that they're anxious. We need to know how to teach them the coping strategies so that they can manage their anxiety, because that's possible. And we need to teach our kids that. But how are we going to do that? That's what we want to share with you. And then the last one, teaching emotions to our children. So a lot of what we will be talking about is how we can support our kids, how we are going to learn about emotions first, and the different strategies, things that we need to figure out to support our children. But then we don't only want that knowledge, we want our kids to learn about emotions too. So how and why, and the strategies that we can use to help our children learn more and understand more about emotions. Why? So that they can start to be more regulated throughout their days. I would love to see you in this course, understanding emotions and everything that you need to know how to practically and effectively support your child in understanding and learning about their emotions.